Welcome back to Life After Fire. Last we left you, Heather and I were living in gorgeous Malibu, California. And we were just finishing out the last couple of months of her Los Angeles contract. And in the end, we actually decided to spend the last 30 days not living in Malibu. Now you might be asking yourself, why in the world would we ever want to leave such a gorgeous, amazing place? Well, I'll tell you. The RV park we were staying at, when they hit their summer rates, raised the rent up to $3,000 a month for just this little plot of dirt. Now to be fair to them, that plot of dirt was in a gorgeous place. But $3,000 a month just wasn't going to work for us, so we started looking for other alternatives. That's when we actually found another RV park we really fell in love with, Newport Dunes in Newport Beach, California. This place was also amazing. A short walk out the front door of your RV and down this little street, and opened up to this amazing beach and cove area. This was a fantastic place to swim. They had great beach lounging, and one of my personal favorites, amazing places to set up a hammock. And you all know how much I love setting up hammocks. And they even did fun little events on the weekends, like concerts and things like that. For some reason, they were really weird about recording, so I only got this little clip, but this will give you a general idea. In addition to the park being amazing, it was also just a short bike ride and a ferry over to Balboa Island. And this place was super cool. They had a really long boardwalk you could ride your bike down. They had different shops and bars and all the things you would expect in a California beach town. We ended up making friends with our neighbors a couple of RVs down from us. Turns out they were also travel nurses, and so they like to get out and explore things, so they fit right in with us. And we really enjoyed exploring the island with them. After a really great month at Newport Dunes, we decided to take a couple of months off to travel. I mean, what's the point of retirement without some travel? So during our break, we actually spent an entire month traveling throughout Europe. And I will definitely make some other videos about some cool things we did during our trip, but one of my personal favorites and a bucket list item of mine was going to Running of the Bulls in Pamplona, Spain. If you've ever wondered what it's like, let's get into the spirit and take a look. So we arrive in Pamplona. First thing we notice when we get off the train is that everyone is wearing the uniform. And when I say everyone, I mean everyone. Not just at the Running of the Bulls event itself, but everywhere you go. In restaurants, at the grocery store, at this really cool little fair that we went to, everybody's wearing it. White shirt and pants, bandana tied to the back. You have to wear one of these little sash belt things. Have to be hanging on the left side. Not the right side. If you do that, they'll know you're a tourist. And the entire town gets into it. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. So the first thing to know about Running of the Bulls is it starts super early. And I'm talking like leaving your hotel at 6:30 in the morning to get there early. It was kind of cool though, because on the walk from our hotel, we got to see the bullpens empty before anybody got there. And you got to really wake up with the city. Right around 7 o'clock, people start lining up on the streets for the event. Now, Running the Bulls is basically one huge party. So you can picture what the streets look like at 6 o'clock in the morning after the events from the night before. Pamplona's got it covered though. So about 7:15 in the morning, these huge street sweepers come and sweep all of the garbage, urine, vomit off the streets. They need a nice clean path for the Bulls to run. Then around 7:30, something absolutely fascinating happens. So you've got all these people lining the streets getting ready to run this event. They're warming up and stretching and getting their spots ready. Well, then the cops come in and literally clear all of these people off the streets.
Keep your hands on the car. I'm doing my job.
Turns out to run in this event, there's an actual process you have to follow. So you have to show up at this certain place, you register ahead of time, they check your attire, make sure you have closed-toed shoes, that you're not drunk. And then after everybody's cleared off the streets, they let the real runners come in and take their spots. I just couldn't help but feel sorry for all these people that came ahead of time though. They get there to the event, they're lined up, they think they're going to run this thing, and then all of a sudden the cops kick them entirely out of the area. Now, we ended up getting a balcony for the event, and I'm super glad we did. A, it was a great place to watch the race, but also B, we would have probably been one of those tourists that got kicked off the streets had we not gotten the balcony. Now it's time for the run to begin. There's a lot of ceremony. They introduce the farmers who raise the bulls. They do some prayers for everybody's safety. And then the event begins. Let's watch. That's it? So yeah, that's it. The whole thing lasts about 30 seconds. Then the Spanish have this other weird tradition where after the event is over, everybody waits in anxious anticipation to hear the total number of injuries and deaths from the event. Then, of course, the real party begins. If you've ever been to a street party in any major city, you probably have a general idea of how this goes, but it was super fun. One of the things we also really enjoyed was in Pamplona, they had stages set up all throughout the city with different music, and everyone really got into it. We had a ton of fun, drank a lot of sangria, and surprisingly a lot of cider. Cider's really popular in this part of Spain. But we just had a blast. My only regret is next time, if I ever go to this event again, I'm not watching from the balcony. I'm going to get in there and run with those bulls. What an epic event. I can't wait to show you guys some other videos from our trip. So you'll have to stay tuned to Life After Fire.